MetaMask integrates with PayPal. We have BJ, the Chaos Creature, back in the studio. The DXY is set to explode if these next few months do not pan out well for risk assets. And we have the Chinese yuan hitting levels not seen since 2008. All this and more on the Blockchain Basement.
Bum, 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 bum. You ready for this? I'm ready. Welcome.
If you're gonna screw me, at least pull my hair.
Hell yeah. What do you got?
They could start chopping off fingers. They're like, give me your seed phrase, but I don't know it.
Out to give the numbers out. And I was like, no, hang up the phone right now.
Or like when it dropped in 2020, was it like exciting?
400,000 to 600,000. The generational signals are now.
Level. So I don't even know if we're gonna get back below there, but if we do, that's kind of where we
You gotta do more than just
Rihanna
make
literally
noises.
cannot
Hey,
Welcome.
Hey,
Welcome.
no,
We're here.
my friend used to be her engineer, and so Rihanna single-handedly changed live music because the amount of outboard gear they had to create to live auto-tune and pitch correct her.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's
welcome
so
to
easy.
Blockchain
You can,
Basement.
Stuff in your
Antares makes a plug-in bucket. It's so easy to auto-tune live.
Yeah.
It's so easy
Now
to
it
auto-tune
is.
live. All you gotta do is Antares box, and then you change the key for
We're
each
talking
song.
about
Rihanna?
08 anyway.
Rihanna paved the way for me. because I can't sing, so now I'll just
Neither
use
could
her auto tune setup.
This does not make me feel great. As a
not
heavy
spark
metal
joy.
musician, no, it doesn't make me feel good. Welcome one, welcome all. Michael Bulmer, blue punk rocker, bringing up the fact that me and BJ need to get the band together here. That's what we're caught discussing here.
back together.
I know. We need you on bass. We're trying to figure out. I mean, Hannah can. She's saying that she can make noises. We're trying to figure out exactly what that means.
Not on
Right.
this show.
So and then AJ, you were in a band, weren't you? You
I've
played
been in like
some.
100 bands, bro. Like literally 3,000 bands.
He's done things, so we have a very musical crew here. We gotta take advantage of that horsepower we got internally. There's a lot of very eclectic people that work here, but welcome one, welcome all. Obviously, the crypto markets showing maybe a little bit of sign of feistiness here. AJ was talking about potential for a little pump up. We got a little bit of movement here. 25.9 actually fell down to 25.4 not too terribly long
hit
ago.
that support resistance
Yeah,
line.
let's see.
That support, that SR line is the deal breaker for me. That is the line. Because if we lose that line, we're going to 23, at least 23, maybe retest 20. If we hold that line, that puts in a higher low and we're alive. But we need to put in higher highs and not. It's looking sad. If you look at Bitcoin on like a daily chart, it looks sad. But this pump it does spark joy.
It's showing a sign of life here. I mean, just in general, it's been kind of sketchy. We've been following the same line, and that's a pretty violent little move up there. So might be showing that it's time. I mean, regardless, we've talked about this before. Just following the historical kind of data we had on September, we are expecting September to be generally bearish. This is from Dusty Crypto, great account. Just highlighting the Bitcoin monthly returns graph, or table rather here. October historically has been very, very bullish. So that's what we got to keep in mind. We have a little short-term kind of blip, a window of access for cheap Bitcoin and cheap altcoins right now, but that will come to an end by, historically speaking, if history rhymes, we're going to have a good October rather. It's going to be a little bit weird this month, but it's actually a good time to be snooping around on different crypto projects that we've been watching. I've been bringing up ICP, Algorand, even potentially Algorand. Yes. Been bringing it up to AJ that I might be getting a 7-cent Algorand here if Bitcoin sneezes down, but that's only a potential. Really, I'll be buying regardless within this month and moving back out of my tether positions into altcoins. Definitely going to have Polygon on that list.
Why?
Because I like L2s. I think Polygon's got a lot of partnerships that are going to stand.
You like backdoor bridges?
It's going to be useful for Disney. It's going to be useful for Meta and Insta.
Pretty much every layer 2 is proven to be a backdoor.
I know. And there's are backdoors. I'm not looking for these things to protect my sovereignty.
They are backdoors.
They are backdoors. Well, you had brought up Base potentially being an on and off switch.
Hey, Drew, do you know that the top 100 wallets for Matic own 82% of the supply?
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
So you just want to get dumped on by the top wallets?
I don't think that it's... I understand what you say, but I
The
really
rich
don't
list
think that
matters.
it's going to be like a 5x.
Look at a rich list before you buy any coin. That's all I'm saying. Coincarp.com.
Which one's worse, the rich list for Doge or the rich list for Matic? That is a
Hold on.
legitimate question.
Hold on.
I can tell you in 10 seconds.
What is that?
Look it up. Look
The
it up.
rich list?
Yeah.
Those things I take into account, but I just see that Polygon has got a lot of really massive partnerships that they're not letting go of. They have a strong marketing development team, and those are in place still. So I don't see Ethereum being kind of outdone by these large institutions in their choice for where they're moving into primarily. Polygon is the leading L2. I've made a commitment to build an L2 bag, over the course of this accumulation market. I think that there's going to be a good move for L2s just in general, and it's a narrative that I see coming up consistently.
I fundamentally disagree with that, but let's say I don't. That is a good argument.
That's just the reason why.
Yeah.
But we're talking about 5% to the portfolio, right?
Yeah.
The real one, it's I don't want to spread myself too thin and get involved with 20 different projects or 30 different projects. I want to be really heavily into 5-6 projects for the coming bull market, because I just want to be kind of concentrating my market share into things that I feel really strongly about, not be too spread thin. So when those big moves happen, they mean a lot more. But it's been an interesting month, obviously, with the Grayscale move that gave us a little bit of hope on Bitcoin's price revival. Obviously, since then, it's fallen back down, come back down. But Grayscale's out here urging the U.S. SEC to approve its spot Bitcoin ETF. Following that recent court victory, its Grayscale Investments on Tuesday urged the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission to quickly approve its proposed exchange-traded fund that would track Bitcoin following the crypto asset manager's victory in court against the agency. The ruling requires the SEC to review Grayscale's application. Although the agency still has time to appeal the court's decision, the SEC said last week that it was studying the ruling. Kind of just licking their wounds, buying a little bit of a time here. The SEC has denied all spot Bitcoin ETF applications so far, saying that applicants have not shown that they can protect investors from market manipulation. That's interesting, coming from them. And the SEC, the appeals court ruled that the SEC arbitrarily denied Grayscale's application because it never explained why the two arrangements were materially different. And really, I think it's just a matter of the SEC's preferring to put BlackRock in front of the rest of the pack. It is, in my opinion, why we see these things being arbitraged or delayed the way that they are with not much reasoning behind them. It's all about timing. And, you know, it's been a theory. The Biscuit Jesus and myself were talking about the likelihood for BlackRock to manipulate the market. As we just read in this, that the SEC hopes to stop those things, but it happens all the time with major asset managers like BlackRock. And it makes perfect sense to see the price of Bitcoin get pushed downwards as these things get closer and closer to being rolled out, so that these massive institutions have good entry points and look much, much better to their investment portfolios that they're looking to help lift up, that are now, you know, sitting at a pretty large unrealized loss in securities. Can you scroll up?
I just need to correct somebody on this real quickly.
Ooh, tell him, BJ.
A tiny bit. Stop there. ADA's still cheap, guys. 820 into Cardano is 16,000 ADA. No, it's 3,280.
Whoa.
Do you know how quickly
maybe he added 820 and now he has 16 ADA. 16,000. He added that much and now he's at 16,000. That's what I interpreted.
Oh, okay. If that's the case.
There you go.
Do you know how quickly I'd be buying ADA right now? $820 got me that.
So backtrack really fast, Drew, not to cut you off, just to finish our thought.
Yeah.
The top 100 Matic holders own 86%, not 82%. I stand corrected. And the top 100 Dogecoin holders own 67%. So Doge is a better situation than Matic. And don't get me wrong, like, that's people wild. Say like AJ loves Algorand but hates Matic. I don't hate Matic. I agree with Michael Moore. Michael Moore said that Matic is a safer pick. I agree. Matic is a safer pick. But like I've said time and time again, I don't hold Bitcoin. I don't hold Ethereum. And that's because I'm not here to 3 to 5x maximum. I'm here to 10 to 20x, period.
Yeah, well, and the question was, am I buying Matic in general? I buy a portion of my portfolio in Matic and then spread it. You know, I think that DAG, I'm sticking on the DAG line. I'm going to be putting more into DAG because I think it's going to be a mover. You know what I mean? I think that's and a shaker. So what you got, Hannah?
DAG.
You're waving.
I was waving to Flat Smack. Hey.
Whoa.
Didn't you say something about DAG though last week? We were talking and you were like, oh, something about drones.
Oh yeah, I mean, just within drone communications to F-35Z technology for directed acyclic graphs is being explored to increase data security and encryption. So it is a perspective. It is not hard-sided. It's not, you know, the DoD has given the contract to Constellation DAG to handle this infrastructure in general, but it is being worked with the DoD to see if it's a potential in the future. And I see the use of drones basically just not going away. I see what they've done to kinetic warfare just in Eastern, Western Europe.
I'm sorry, is there an argument that they are?
That they are what?
Going away?
No.
Okay,
That's, no. I mean, well, the idea you could be bearish on DAG is that there's no real need for that, right? There's no real application. I just see an application for it happening. It may not be the most humane application that I've seen in my whole life by a long shot, but I see that it's being used. I see that the need for it is there because of national security measures So taking those things into account, that's why I move into projects like DAG, because they're working on that perspective, and all you need is just a toenail of the elephant in the military industrial complex to make a big move. So what's that? What you got?
So I looked at the rich list for DAG, and guess what? There's not one. I think that says a lot. There's not a rich list for DAG on CoinCarp, but there is one, but it's not on the CoinCarp website, and I find that hilarious. Also, CoinCarp's incorrect on a couple coins. You might have to check Etherscan. If like you go to Matic, you need to look at Etherscan for a couple coins because it'll be on there as well. But for Quant, for instance, the reason why I like Quant so much, first of all, really, really good tokenomics, 93% vested. And the top 100 holders only own 37% of the supply. I mean, that's pretty good considering Quant has 5 million less coins than Bitcoin.
Well, and Quant's another one I'm watching closely. I was looking... I last had seen we were under the $100 mark.
Yeah, it's a magnet to 100 right now.
Why is it? It's literally $99.85.
It's a great time to accumulate. Great. I mean, I'm thinking Quant's like minimum 1,000. I'm looking like 15 to 1750.
It is coiling pretty heavily.
I'm telling you, like Quant is going to. When I say I don't want a 3 to 5x, it's because I'm focusing on coins like Quant. I'm focusing on coins like HBAR. I really like Chainlink as a safer hold. I like Cardano. I like Algorand, but I'm keeping it less than 7 coins or less this run.
That's a good take. That's my opinion as well, man. You don't want to be too spread out, and then you have a couple just really good hitters that only kind of perform slightly for you.
Yep.
So in HBAR, that also is on my watch list. I wish I was logged into this CoinMarketCap. It has my whole watch list there. Makes it a little bit easier. HBAR is definitely one. AVAX, definitely one that I'm waking up to a little bit here. Let's see.
I can left swipe on AVAX. Hey, really quick.
You don't like it because you got slighted by them, though.
That's not exactly why. I'm not getting into that right now, but I do want to address people. How long until all Matic coins are in circulation? They are much closer to full circulation. Just 92 or 93% vested for Matic. They were supposed to be fully vested by, I believe, 2030 or 2027 or something like that. But Matic is switching to POL, to Paul, and the tokenomic situation has changed with that proposal because they want to keep the remaining 7% of the supply to be able to like incentive to help build out the community. So the tokenomics situation is going to change for the last 7%. But honestly, when something's 92% vested, that last little bit isn't really going to make a big difference.
Yeah. Now, a very random question for you. So, not saying anything good or bad on Quant, but when we're looking at the reason why you said you weren't in Bitcoin and Ethereum is because you're looking for a 20-30x.
10 to 20.
So, Quant,
he wants big gains.
You're saying might get you that 10.
Easy. So
why wouldn't you just take that same money and put it in like Cardano or something else?
I do have a bag of Cardano. Because I'm spread out between all the coins that I think are 10 to 20 Xers. Okay. That's why I wouldn't put, if I have 100,000, I'm not putting the whole 100,000 into Quant. I'm going to spread it out. And Cardano is definitely a coin in my top 7. Yeah, 1,000%.
I mean, I've been interested in Quant for a long time, but that was the only reason I really didn't put anything into
and the thing is, we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what coin's going to outperform what. So we got to pick the ones that we think are going to win without spreading ourselves too far out. And we don't want to be just in 2 coins or just in 1 coin because that's scary. I think 6 to 8 is all you need. You can
have like $100-$200 bag of potential mistake that you leave around and see what it does.
Well, I feel like that's better in like the S coin world.
Absolutely.
Like honestly, like if you're gonna do little bags, say you want 50, I think that's an S coin world where it's like put $100 in 50 of these horrible projects, and honestly, you're probably going to do well. Yeah. Like, you're going to only hit on one of them, but the one you hit on, you're going to do pretty damn well.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. And we got to do something, man. I mean, we have a lot of weird kind of data coming out of macroeconomic pictures right now. We had the news break that the Chinese yuan is now at its lowest level versus the US dollar since 2008, right before the major unraveling of the financial crisis. This is not looking great for the Chinese yuan compared to the US dollar. This, in comparison to, we were looking at the DXY, this has probably got some
How is
horrible.
it pre-panny? Where was it,
Pre-panny?
2020?
This goes back, well, we were just looking back at, let's see here, it goes to 2018. So the pandemic right
So,
here, nice and
I mean,
low.
it's lower, but it's almost like how we were talking about how they can't really go into quantitative easing in a logical manner right now.
Mhm.
But if China's starting to look like this, like it was pre-panny, even though it's more, we need to go into quantitative easing.
Yes.
They're bringing back certain things. It's like this is kind of all lining up for make sure you have your dry powder because it's probably buying time. Real soon.
with the China, with that looks like lower lows and lower highs the whole way down the street.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, even if it turns back around, if it has to get over that last high, from that ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Oh, stroked 500.
This is
Yes,
completely synthetic injection of
Right.
liquidity. Like
Yeah.
this is complete synthesization of an economy right there
Yeah,
to get it back
for
up to
sure.
this level. So
for sure. I just wanted to say I have done a price prediction on Gala. It's on. There's a playlist for the price prediction department videos on the YouTube.
So here's the DXY, AJ. Look at this. And I mean, just looking at this from my hillbilly perspective, I mean, I can't imagine it's going to make it past this 105 level,
You
but
hope
it is
not.
ripping.
You hope not.
I hope not,
You
right?
hope
And
not.
that's the potential if it does keep climbing and we move inversely to China, which, I mean, it's not like it's, the U.S. and the Chinese economies are pretty intertwined for trade and, longer term agreements, but it is potential that this breaks out. If it does, we've seen Bitcoin crash or get hurt when the Dixie does move up like
look
that.
Look at a 2022 chart comparing the DXY to the stock market and also the DXY to Bitcoin. When the DXY goes up, markets suffer. It's simple as that. So
Yeah, I mean, this is right when it was popping off.
Exactly,
January
it's the exact
2022.
opposite thing.
Yep.
And TJ's chicken salad, Crow is on the list.
Crow's on the
Solana
list.
is this week, but Crow's on the list. I got
Also,
you.
I'd be interested. Rob says, any thoughts on CKB? I had a lot of it, and I was doing liquidity on the Godwoke Polyjuice network.
Oh, God.
Which is the one that Nervos uses. Something I'm still interested in. I think it's an Australian company, but it is that classic, are you promising too much? Because they were really trying to push, the triangle of interoperability, security, and scaling. But their main thing was interoperability. I believe they were trying to set up as layer 0. Beyond that, I don't know too much about them.
I don't know much about that.
I had a lot, and then I think I sold it and then bought something random. But it's worth looking into for sure.
Yeah. Interesting.
And to kind of stave the idea or give a data point on why we might not see the DXY rip, we also had expectations from Goldman coming out on the oil market, oil and gas, that expects Brent oil to hit over $100 as the deficit of money supply grows into 3 million BPD. So this is just an overall graph showing kind of the movement of seaborne exports, pipe and rail exports, and refinery runs and crude stock exchanges. This basically is in general meaning that the price of gasoline is likely to increase in the short term. It all plays into OPEC taking away their kind of production levels that we've grown accustomed to ever since cutting our knees off at Keystone Pipeline by turning that off first day of Uncle Joe's introduction.
Speaking,
as a leader,
I saw a really interesting story that broke today saying that Kamala Harris might just have to take over the presidency. You see that?
Oh my God!
Just broke today.
Don't say
it just broke
as a joke.
No, that story
I said that
broke
as a
today
joke.
on New York Post, CNN, everything. Kamala just might have to. She might just have to. Everybody. She might just have to. She might have to cackle, laugh at everyone she put in the jail over weed and all that. If you ever watched the Tulsi Gabbard Joe Rogan podcast, I mean, Tulsi just ripped
Who
Kamala.
said this? Is this like
Dude, look on the news. Google Kamala Harris might have to take over. That's
what
all.
was the last time a
headline,
VP came in?
headline.
Was it Lyndon B. Johnson for JFK?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
This is not sparking
Feel
joy.
like that's the last one.
I'm not giving her a shot. No way, bro.
Oh my God!
You're talking about a woman that on purpose put people in jail as a lawyer just because that she knew were innocent, but her numbers mean matter that to her than actual justice or fairness, or not that fairness matters in the real world because it doesn't. But
I mean,
we're talking
Biden-
this woman's straight corrupt. Like no way in
So she's a
hell.
politician.
No, yeah,
She's a
all
perfect
politicians
fit.
are corrupt, but there's levels to the game, bro. And there's a special spot in hell reserved for her. Just saying.
No, that's when we. I don't want to say anything that'll get me banned, but if you see her at the helm, we are in deep trouble. I'll just say it that
Yeah.
way. So keep an eye out for that. That might be a negative on the economy as well.
Yeah.
But saw some good stuff happening for crypto. A little bit of payment on and off ramps being created through MetaMask. Coming out with the introduction of bank to PayPal cash out options. So this broke this morning, kind of a big deal. And yes, PayPal is the largest private payment processor on earth. So you got to keep that in mind when you see these things. May not mean much because we're in the bear market and didn't skyrocket the price northward, but it's setting the on and off ramps up for basic day-to-day people in a year or two from now to access crypto, to get involved with it, because it's going to come back, and newbies to cryptocurrency are going to catch on, and they're going to want these proven on and off ramps to feel comfortable getting in and out of the markets on.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a deal.
So the thing to tell people, this is really cool, and it shows that they're trying to basically be on top of the precipice. That was probably incorrect use of that / it is. Anyway, they're trying to be ahead of the curve with all of this. But don't become the exit liquidity in 2024, 2025. Really do start buying this stuff soon.
Yes,
By the way.
absolutely.
Because they are setting this up. That's probably why PayPal is not talking about all of this, because they're going to start shilling it when they want everybody in. But that's pretty bullish.
It is.
I think
it's gonna get
everyone's
money
waiting.
in the market.
I think everyone's kind of setting on the sides. They're waiting for the next round of lockdowns to start. Yeah, I kind of feel like whenever that happens, that's when maybe the CBDC is going to get forced down our throats, because don't you guys know cash is dirty, right? Cash is dirty. You can't use cash.
Oh yeah.
You can't use cash because they can't
yeah.
control cash, which is really why they would do that. I'm telling you, things are about to get pushed on us. And
Remember
it's
the
going to be in the
change
name of national security.
Yeah, remember the change shortage? They're like, guys, we're running
Yep.
low on
You have
quarters.
no coins.
What are we gonna do?
No more
now?
pennies.
That
What's
was
up, Hannah?
such a psyop,
I
dude.
just saw this week. I need to find a pic. I took a picture. I take a picture every time I go to a restaurant now, and it says cash only, no
Yeah.
cards accepted. I just take a little picture for the collection. But
Wait,
there was
cash,
one the other
you
day.
mean the other way around?
They don't accept cash.
Yeah, so
you said
credit
cash
only.
only, no cards accepted.
Sorry, other way
no,
around.
you're
I took
totally
a
good.
picture, but it was a big chain, and
Well, Starbucks,
I was,
most are like that now.
I think it was Starbucks.
Probably.
It was no, it was somewhere else. But they said starting in 2024, no cash, and I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
Great.
the coin shortage is such a scam. They say that there's a coin shortage, and also cash is dirty. So that's when all that was going on a few years ago, and then you see just
What
the
am I
massive,
supposed to throw my seed phrase at a stripper?
I know. You can't swipe it. I don't know. I don't
They
know what you're gonna
have most of them have Bitcoin ATMs. So you're.
do. Oh God.
Stop,
Really,
bro.
Hannah? Really?
Stop.
You had to go there.
Sorry, what'd you say? I'm still laughing about how hilarious I am.
Back to PayPal.
Oh,
This
Jesus.
feature is now available in the US, the UK, parts of Europe. MetaMask said in a Tuesday blog post that it's explaining its users the browser base can convert their crypto to dollars and euros and pounds. The post added that it has plans to expand to more regions and cater to a worldwide community. Let's see here. With more than 30 million monthly active users, MetaMask is a popular Ethereum application, as you already know. Yada, yada, yada. So just last month, MetaMask launched an optimized Apple Pay option in partnership with fiat to crypto on-ramp and fintech firm Banxa. So we see these little on and off ramps being built in the background while everyone's, kind of talking about, oh, it's a scam. There's no reason to be in it. Meanwhile, BlackRock's starting to push for its own access to these massive, Bitcoin ETF funds that it's going to be controlling as we move into the next bull market. You have to pay attention to these things as they're being built out, get ahead of them. For me personally, I think that the timing is this month to really lay it down thick on altcoins, just from where the general market is sitting right now. It's doing well. So, and obviously talking about BlackRock, this is just a reminder that BlackRock and JP Morgan Chase are going to be helping the Ukrainian government launch a recovery bank to raise hundreds of billions of dollars
That's
to rebuild
sweet.
Ukraine. I know
and they're charging them probably at minimum 300%. APR on the payback.
I mean,
That's
look
so
how
sweet.
kind-hearted BlackRock and JP Morgan are. It's fantastic. And this is my reaction, of course. This is fantastic. Look at that little fella. But yeah, I mean, this is just a quick reminder that, in my opinion, BlackRock is, Larry Fink is your president, essentially. We are beholden to central bank as a government, and from that standpoint, you cannot govern effectively if that is the situation you're sitting in. So things need to change in that regard. It's going to take a lot of elbow grease from me and you, people at home, us, and we, the people in this country. Bitstrip. Jeez.
Bitstrip.
Hey.
Veteran crypto.
Hey.
Oh my God.
That's so funny. Better trademark that, veteran.
There's going to be a poo coin
lock
out.
that one down. That's
once this
top
stream
notch.
ends, it's coming out. Oh yeah, and then this is just some context of how large BlackRock is. This is visual representation. Company obviously has publicly endorsed Bitcoin recently, and here are the only two countries with a larger GDP than BlackRock, which are America, GDP at 26 trill. And China at 19.5 trill. BlackRock.
Our debt is more than our GDP.
That's what I was going to say.
Isn't that great?
Like, that's
BlackRock.
relevant because
by 6 trillion.
I
A
know.
country.
Isn't that great? BlackRock
Killer.
is actually doing positive though. So
yeah, that is very relevant.
So BlackRock owns the world. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Literally.
Nice. Good job, Larry. Good job.
It's something that's important to pay attention to. Ooh, BJ, you talked about this a little bit earlier on. You did. You brought it
like
to the
I've
basement.
been saying that
dropping
this was
the
gonna
alpha.
happen.
Yep. Here we are. Chris Black. Coinbase's owned and operated ETH L2 base. It went offline
Already.
Yep. They're trying
Worse
to
than
fix it.
Solana.
Maybe they just had to pause and adjust some things real quick, right? That's the narrative there. They were trying to fix it. Maybe they're rebooting their server or something. Anyway, they couldn't fix it. You'll have to rely on Coinbase to help you get their money back. And I do believe it has resumed operations, but this is just highlighting that the base chain stalled. There were no new blocks created for a given amount of time. I know it was at least a half an hour here. And on the subject, yes, we have to acknowledge these L2s, they're centralized. They have backdoors. You have to understand that that's a part of the game. If you're going to be putting all of your capital onto a centralized system that can be shut down at any given time, that's kind of a big deal. You got to think about that aspect when you're looking into different investments, right? Having small exposure to OP, things of that nature are not too scary for me because the majority of my assets are going to be on self-custody coins primarily. But I will be sprinkling some investments into projects that are knowingly centralized because I like to stack more land, more iron, more goods for my family, and I can do more with more aggressive projects like that. I know OP is not like this massive favorite, but I wouldn't be surprised if OP hit $10 in the next bull market, and that'd be a pretty darn good return from where it's sitting at. It's sitting at $1.30, $1.40 right now.
Terrible tokenomics.
I wonder if I do. I got to get the mohawk going on. I got like a rectangular shape. Yes, I do. I heard the best one was handsome Squidward. I've heard that before. I like that one. Nice. But yeah, so we have that. And then this did not spark my joy as a freedom-loving American with many hard goods. What is this? All right, so this is from the Hodge twins. Never buy a safe from a company that'll give out your passcode to tyrants. Now, this is, again, a more of this sovereignty type subject that we're talking about here. On August 30th, 2023.
So is this where Ledger did something and then Liberty said, hold my beer?
Yes, basically.
Nice.
So Liberty Safe was contacted by the FBI requesting access codes for a safe to an individual whom they had a warrant to search the property and the company protocol to provide access codes to law enforcement if the warrant grants them access to that property.
Wow.
My God. Now, and just think about this. So we're getting all of this digital infrastructure set up. You have passcodes to enter your home. You have smart houses. You have smart ovens, right? And so if those access points are controlled by a centralized entity that all of a sudden is told, hey, you know, that symbol, the Pepe the Frog, that's a very hurtful and angry symbol, and we need to shut off their microwave or their stove or lock their door or do whatever we want with them. There's a potential for that if this infrastructure
Look, I have
gets built
Schlade
up.
locks on my deadbolts on my doors, and they're upside down.
Yeah?
Like, that's how paranoid I am, that I go with a company that are a pain in the ass to pick.
That's reasonable.
Because I know how to pick, and I put them upside down.
That's
because
reasonable.
Nobody practices picking a lock upside down.
Yes.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
technically the same thing. It will
I mean,
throw you
just
off.
just give
No.
me a paperclip.
Yeah. Oh, you can't do it with a
Just give me a
paper.
paperclip.
Yeah,
With a wafer,
Give me a paperclip.
with a
It's
wafer
sexy in this,
tumbler,
though.
yes. With a pin tumbler, you're not doing it with a
All right,
paper.
well, give me a
it sucks
paper
that you
clip.
have
I
to go
will.
to those extremes though to protect your
It's
your
not that much
privacy.
of an extreme. It's 180s.
Well, I mean, you know, privacy is your right. You have a right to privacy, and seeing these things, it's really not making me feel so great about, you know, autonomous infrastructure being built out to be handled by those in power currently. Those in power currently, I don't think have the capacity to be reasonable to the population of which they govern. So seeing things like this as this technological infrastructure gets built out does not sit well with me, because basically you're just an open book basically for any investigation, any sort of minority report situation we might find ourselves in 5 to 10 years from now. It might get ugly quickly. So be cognizant of that. I think I'm going to be doing a little video on the bunker, talking about, what are better options? What was their Bud Light moment reasoning? Why did they do this? Let me know in the chat if you think I should cover that. I think that matters a lot, because you cannot responsibly own crypto without firearms in the United States, in my opinion. Okay. So this Nostr was a big deal a minute ago. Okay. It almost felt like, what was that Instagram thing? Threads?
Did anybody else read that as Nostradamus and then realize it was Nostr domain? Just saying.
Well, we kind of called that this was going to die, and it looks like it's not doing well. Nostr domain on sale for $5 million. May host Lightning Wallet services if unsold. So that's not great. Ben Ark, co-founder of Nostr, announced on X that Nostr.com domain is currently available for $5 million, which is really kind of not that much they worked really hard on getting this brand out there. Seemed more like a Bitcoin maxi kind of Twitter, is what I could get out of it from afar. I went into it briefly, didn't like the layout, so moved on, but looks like it's for sale. Explaining his rationale for the offer despite his close attachment to the domain, Ark said that he has pressing needs to meet. He disclosed that he acquired the domain 3 years ago for $5,000. Man, what a return on investment that would be. Since then, its value has surged over 1,000-fold. Last year, Nostr caught the eye of former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, who donated 14 Bitcoin to it. Since then, the protocol has experienced remarkable growth. And it did, but it kind of died out really quickly. Like it came onto Twitter really fast. A lot of people are like, this is the future of crypto communication and all that stuff. And you see that regurgitated narrative that this is the future of something, it's going to take over. Right. And we kind of felt the same way about it that we felt about Threads. I know, Hannah, are you doing okay now that Threads is the dust has settled with Threads and the ghost town is realized?
So there was a community on Threads though, like the people that were there day one. There was a community of I would say probably 20 people that have gone on every single day since then, and they've been posting, and they still get 100 likes, 200 likes every single post. And that's the Threads community that's dominating. And for a while, I was running with them. I would get on Threads every day and post. But this week is the first week I haven't posted in 3 days. I'm kind of but who knows, long term we'll see. But for now, yeah.
So you can go ahead and say BJ was right. The boomer told you so.
I think okay. So some of the OG people that I'm talking about, the 20 Bark Meta. If you guys know Bark from Twitter, he's one of them. But he stays on Threads and you can't schedule anything. You have to manually open the app and tweet it and post it. And so that he is doing that multiple times a day, every 2 hours, and he still gets a lot of engagement. And I think those people long term will be successful somehow with Threads. They will just be the known users on that app, and it could have something to do with Meta, Facebook, Instagram long term. It could help his Instagram account. We'll see. I still think it could pay off. It's not
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance.
I downloaded the app
I'm
and
not getting on
deleted
it
it
anymore
in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I had it on there for a day. I gave it a chance. I gave it a try. It was automatically connected to all of my Instagram and Facebook stuff immediately, and then I got all the information about how much information they wanted to take from me. Granted, Instagram for some crazy reason has decided to start pushing my content, which I found incredible. That is, push. Yeah, it was really weird. They were pushing the CIA video on Kennedy, of all things. So that was interesting to see. But Threads, it kind of felt lame when I was in there. So kind of read the room, and that you can apply that to crypto communities. If you find yourself in this crypto community of a coin you've been shilled, and then you go in there and it's kind of awkward, and there's mostly just spam bots and this weird person that has nothing to do with the project coming in there and just shilling you something else. It's probably not feeling like the healthiest environment. You might want to move on and find a more organically grown and engaging community to be a part of. So don't get stuck in the mindset that you have to be part of a crypto cult just because it seems like it's the next best thing. Oftentimes it's already too late when that kind of information is floating around the internet. So keep that in mind. God, I just feel like this September is probably going to be really good. This month, I'm just treating it as a buying opportunity. The downturn in the Bitcoin market has just created an opportunity for me because I expected it. We watched the historical likelihood of, this month's sector. And as we approach the Bitcoin halving, statistically, if it rhymes, we're right on track to have a little bit of a retracement and then off to the races from there. Because the Bitcoin halving is going to be coming up faster than I personally would like. I know the holidays go by really, really quickly. And I blink and it's next year.
Hey, that means DragonCon soon.
Oh yeah, you going to DragonCon?
I'm already thinking about it.
I thought it was over.
I mean, it
already.
just happened.
Isn't it over?
I know you always have something new going on with your dragon life, though. It's like you're
Who
a
are
real
you
life
again
wizard.
this year? From
I'm Gambit
X-Men?
every time. Here,
Gambit.
Just pull up my Twitter. We're doing this.
Fine.
Pull it up.
I pulled up 4. I have more favorite photos, but these were 4 pretty good ones. And I can't remember what was the movie. I think it was the same person who did Shaolin Soccer that did the movie where there's kind of the bum in the slums, and then there's the slumlord who has the curling, rolls in, always smoking the cigarette, and beats people with her chancla.
God, you
idea.
look great.
Yeah, pull these up.
Look at this.
These are great, dude. I got a new wig this year, so the new wig is great.
Look at that. It's incredible. You
I'm a
clean up
fantastic
great.
Gambit.
Yeah,
you gotta go
absolutely.
through all 4.
All right, what else we got here?
Look at the pants.
The pants are great.
It's pretty extreme.
I
Whoa,
found
look
a
at
Look at that
this
Ghost
guy.
Rider.
Is that real?
Is
That
that
was
a
there?
six-
That's a really good Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage mask.
It
Yeah.
is.
That's
great.
really
Looks just
amazing,
like him.
BJ.
He's a national treasure.
There's
He's a
two
national
more.
treasure.
That's the lady I'm talking about. She was so good. And I am
so
so day drunk with a fucking
You look smashed. I know drunk BJ, and that's him.
half-eaten fucking Philly cheesesteak.
That's great.
And then the
got
last
one
one, this
more.
penguin was great.
Oh yes.
He
Yeah,
did
it's a good
so good.
penguin.
His nose, like it took me a while. Like I knew it was fake. It took me forever to find
That's a
the
shoot.
line.
Could bullets come out of his cane or no?
He told me not to. Kung Fu Hustle. That's what it was. But yeah, I had
Very
the token
nice.
Gambit, and I had people from last year be like, "Dude, you're the guy who did the blonde shuffle." So I was
Follow
happy to
BJ
know.
for all your medical alpha too. You know
Also,
what I mean?
that's the best one. From this was second to last night's. The fact that you could walk in me at any time doesn't turn me on. They do.
We had a conversation in Denver. That was very funny.
Okay, well, the actual conversation
No,
was,
blah, blah, blah,
I'm like,
blah,
bro,
blah,
have you
blah, blah,
masturbated
blah.
yet at all? And then he literally
And then I
goes-
said the fact that you could walk in at any time doesn't turn me on.
and then
That was the answer to that question.
yeah, and then
Oh
I
my
said that hurts, bro, and then we continued to laugh for like
We
5
died
minutes.
for like 10 minutes.
And then I'm like, I'm gonna post that on Twitter,
I was
and
like,
then
all
he
right.
just died.
Do it.
out of hand. Yeah, you guys. you're
Yeah,
out of rare
we're good
go.
roomies.
Good roomies. He's always
Hanging
my
out.
roommate when we travel.
I was just sad I had to like pass you guys in the airport coming back to Georgia as you're heading out there. That was a sad day for me, but it looks like you guys had a lot of fun out there. Gaylord Hotel. There's not enough puns made about that place.
Dude, so every morning they had a thing called an animal encounter, and
that's
I
so
would
good.
I would come down the elevator, and when you walk to the main lobby, there would be like this woman like holding like a snake or
The
an
owl was my
or
favorite.
or fair. The owl was awesome.
They had falcons.
Every morning there was two different animals
Yeah.
there, and it was just like, oh, what's it going to be today? It was
Really?
so funny.
Those hotels, it has like all the trees and stuff in the lobby.
Yeah, it was really. They have like morning
Beautiful.
yoga and all this stuff. It was awesome. Great time. Great time.
I wanted to make note of one more thing just on my conversation. Institutions are gearing up. They're stacking bags. Everything looks ugly. Many retail are running away. You're hearing the word scam used more and more in crypto, which means it's time to get going.
Wait, by saying retail's running away, are you talking about because the anti-no criminal law thing in Cali, so you can just run away with anything as long as it's
Oh, you could just walk out of the place with you don't have to worry about
as long as it's
anything.
under $800.
Yeah,
Have you seen that shop that everything costs $900 and some dollars,
Yeah.
and then you walk to the back to get a coupon that then returns it to its normal price?
Things are not right when we
so
have,
that they can
yeah.
prosecute for anything.
Good.
we have like literally everything locked behind plexiglass, heavy lock systems. You know something's wrong with the neighborhood if that's the case. So again, you can use that metaphor in crypto too, right? If everything's getting hacked, might not be the most
Like a
safe
Ethereum?
spot.
Right.
So
Right.
this is from Miles Dushner. I just want to talk about this, just highlight this because of the time frame we're in. I'm feeling it's time to get stacking. Get ready for a good move. This came out pretty recently. I think about an hour ago, calling a game change in Miles Dushner. Previously, it was almost impossible for corporations to hold crypto, and soon they'll be able to utilize fair value accounting methods, and this will make it much easier for corporations to add Bitcoin and Ethereum to their balance sheet. Just because under the current practice, which does not provide clear guidelines on how firms should disclose their crypto holdings, firms treat their crypto as an indefinite-lived intangible asset, which includes trademarks, copyrights, and other items that are rarely traded. As a result, companies record their crypto at a historical price they paid and review their holdings every quarter for impairments. Holdings are considered impaired even if the price of the crypto falls temporarily during the reporting period and the values can't be upwardly revised if the price recovers.
Wow.
This is just like some lingo that's pretty important when you think about why we haven't seen a massive influx of institutions. Thinking about these statements is very, very key in kind of understanding how fast it's going to come. Are you positioned in the right time? Very important stuff here. The new accounting rules floated by the FASB in March mark an improvement over the current method, as companies will be able to record those gains and losses immediately and classify crypto assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum as financial assets. This rule will take effect as soon as 2025, though the companies will have the option to apply them early, the article said. Pretty interesting
On
stuff.
a total side note, the
Yeah.
Deadwood says, better get your winter prep going. Canadian ducks are 40 days early this year. Gonna be a bad one.
Oh,
That's interesting. I didn't know.
The Ducks know everything. The weatherman,
Dude.
not him. Ducks know what's
I
up.
mean, that's a really early offset to
That's
my
crazy.
You guys are
migratory
making me
pattern.
miss duck hunting. I used to duck hunt a lot out in Colorado. I haven't done it out here in Georgia as of yet. Got to get back out hunting though, man. There's just, I don't know. It's nothing better. I don't know.
Can't wait to just sit in the woods and shoot something.
That's right. You know,
Can't
and go
wait,
through
yeah.
miles and miles of
Oh,
painful
you mean like
drudging.
Dick Cheney?
Dude, remember that shot? Oh, is that? Yeah, that he's a great shot. Aims for the head. So, but yeah, it's looking like good time in the market. It's coming up on us. Really, obviously, AJ, we've been talking about Algorand.
Yes,
What are we
sir.
going to do with Algorand here?
We're gonna be patient men.
You're going to be a patient. So what do you? I think that we got a potential to go lower, but it's seeming like it's trying to hold on pretty hard.
Yep.
But this is the yearly. Look at the yearly though. It's just a
Oh, it's sad, but the supply has grown, 30% since its all time high. So
no.
the supply issue is working against them. It does not spark that much joy, but they are coming around. They're I think 70% vested, I believe, off the top. I don't remember exactly off the top. There's so many tokenomic numbers in my mind that it gets fuzzy.
You
But,
get wrapped up in those a little bit much, but it's nice that you pay attention to them. So
Of course, I
closely.
mean, someone got to do it. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, I talk to people at Algorand all the time. I'm not worried. They're well funded.
Yeah.
I'm not worried. Time takes time. They know what they're doing. I trust the process.
It's on my mind. It's a potential. I don't think I'm going to be touching Hex with a 10-foot pole, just because my personal feelings towards its founder or whatever you want to call him. Pretty interesting to see Carl the Moon running away from his connection to Costa this week as well.
Interesting.
Yes, very interesting indeed. But all these other ones, God, Cardano's going to be on my list. Hoping that it gets down to 20 cents flat. But like I said, my time frame is within this month to be restacked. And I never got rid of my Chainlink, XRP, Stellar, or DAG, but we'll be adding to those positions as well. It's just time's moving up on us real fast, man. It's it's times like these where everything's super boring and you got to be looking at technicals where a lot of people that aren't involved with it day to day, that aren't living and breathing the news, kind of fall off the wagon. And it's our job as savages here in cryptocurrency to wake people up around us that we want to see their lives change for the better. And The only thing that I've seen outside of real estate that's done really well in my personal life is crypto. So that's why I look at these things as vehicles to improve my life, because it doesn't look like things are going to get better. It looks like oil is going to increase in price. We're going to have this bouncing inflationary environment that's never going back down to 2%. No matter, and they may arbitrage how they measure to meet that goal down the road. Like we've seen them change the definition of recession to avoid that reality not too terribly long ago. I think it was about a year ago, maybe even a year and a half, where they changed the definition of recession to basically fit the narrative. Look, we're not in a recession. Everything's getting back better. And I do see the potential just in the background of manufacturing, construction and manufacturing facilities picking up in the United States. And it would be really nice to see the United States kind of take up the reins of their manufacturing for ourselves, so we stop relying on these shipping containers and across the water shipments from China for our day-to-day goods. It'd be nice to see Americans take a little bit more ownership. Yeah, it's probably going to be more expensive at the store when we're purchasing American-made goods, but then you're not perpetuating, say, the garlic peelers slave labor that's going on in China, or the litany of things that go wrong over in that country to make our lives nice and soft and easy, right?
It is crazy. Like during, the initial COVID run, that was really like a big eye opener to everyone that like America isn't self-sufficient. And
Right.
like we're not. We're just not self-sufficient in the way we need to be. And it kind of makes me just like, you know what? Like, so what if it costs more money to get things set up here? Like, shouldn't we at least have it set up so if we do like have to cut off from everybody else, that we already have the infrastructure to build the things we need to have stuff like in the Elon Musk Joe Rogan podcast, like America doesn't make stuff. And he that's such a simple sentence, but it's so true. And it's like we need to be completely self-sufficient in my book. There's no reason that it is the way it is. It's just it's all about the bottom line, obviously.
It's a painful reality.
It's all it's painful, but like come on, like
be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Tell yourself the truth, right? You have to collapse now and beat the rush, right? That's what my opinion is. Then your cost of what you're spending day to day is less. You can use more money to invest in regular stocks. Check out our link in the description for link 2 if you're interested in getting into early investments in stocks, getting your way around accredited investor requirements, things of that nature. We have a sponsor that's great for the channel. Check them out in the description if you're on that traditional side as well.
What was the name of that again?
Link 2. It's in our description now, and we'll be bringing them up again later on this week, but it's a cool access point. You get access to Ripple, get access to chain analysis.
The pre-equity market.
Yeah. So it's
interesting.
big stuff. I mean, you can make money in that market. You just have to be doing it in the right way. And I feel like biotech is probably what I'll be leaning into heavily come 2028, 2029. I see biotech probably being a really big deal in like nanotechnology, those types of things. But that's not for me I'm not an expert on them. I just feel intrinsically that they're coming. And so I want to be positioned ahead of them. And so I listen to people like BJ or, intelligent people like my wife that tells me, kind of all the new biotech companies that she's watching that are coming up, because you can make money in that market too. You have to have a flexible mindset. So when one market's going down, you can make money in another. And that's just the way that you balance things out. So a lot of rice and beans comments in the comments
real
section.
Fast. CAD AFI just sold my 50 Nuts collection 1, 2, 3 on eBay. And for all of you that don't know, 50 Nuts is it's like a Krusty Demons of Dirt movie, but for pit bikes. And those were like actually the Bible when I was a kid. Like it would just be like dudes like on little tiny dirt bikes sending it off of like big like peaky BMX jumps. And I wish you sold it to me. I'm upset with you. I'm upset.
Oh,
Great show.
very sad.
Great. It was like a DVD series. You know what I mean?
I'm going to keep my Pokemon cards forever.
Oh, me too, for sure. I'm never selling my Charizard.
Yeah.
Charizards.
I might trade Tony for a Charizard he has, though. I might overdo it. I need to stack a Charizard for my daughter, but I think that's all we got for today. Honestly, I'm kind of excited. I'm going to be digging into a stack and probably chain links, the first on the list here. It just looks like the most stable of all the different options that I've been paying attention to. So that's what I'll be doing after we get off stream, making sure ATB is set up and good to go. But appreciate everyone joining us here. Crypto KY, C90 FTW, Fluffy the Sheep, Coupon for Crypto, Gaddafi. What a name, Gaddafi. And Veteran Crypto. Thank you very much for joining us. BJ, AJ, all the J's, Hannah Hughes, HH, and
Peace out
Owen.
to Catify.
Owen, show your
Catify,
face.
hit me up on Twitter.
I gotta see
Let's
Owen.
chat.
Crypto, I'll do a
Where
card
is
trick
he?
at some point.
Owen, I want to see your face. He's the long lost prince. We need to find that website. He's begrudging.
Princess Diana.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm going to share his website.
Wait,
next show.
can you see the banana on the floor from that shot?
Hey, go back. Go back.
Banana.
Oh, he's gonna blog it.
Diana.
Hannah, you can sing. You're the singer for the band. You just sold yourself out.
I can make noises.
You can't?
No.
I
Okay,
can
bye.
make noises.
All right. We'll see you
Okay,
tomorrow.
bye.
Take care.